Alright, just got the pedals put together. I guess I'll go through and tell you what part's what. This part is the factory pedal hanger for the Aspen. This is the factory booster. This piece is off the Dakota 5-speed pedal assembly. This is the Dakota 5-speed pedal, and it actually fits without hitting the booster. This goes up on your firewall. Firewall goes through like right here. So the top part of this pedal is the factory Aspen. The bottom part is the Dakota. I had to cut it and weld it together. And you got this part runs out to the transmission. Actually, honestly, I would say that building the pedals is literally the easiest damn part. The only thing I had to do is cut the automatic pedal off and put this pedal to it, and cut down the Dakota rod that went across, and weld a washer to the end of it so this don't slide off. And on the bracket, I used the pin to line up here, put a piece of metal back here to keep this from going past the firewall, and marked and drilled 2 holes, and that was it. And it just pretty much goes together. So honestly, this was the easiest part. I'm not going to put it in until I get some paint and get at least looking pretty. But you can see on the Aspen how the factory pedal assembly was working. It has kind of like a linkage thing, so when you push the pedal back, it moves that little rod, which then pushes on the rod down here and pushes out the booster, which works the brake, and so on and so on. The only trimming I had to do on the factory setup is I had to trim, it had a little lip like this right here, and I had to trim the lip, and I had to trim a little tab, it's like this over here, trim it off. I do recommend bolting this piece on instead of welding it, because you have to access this bolt to remove this piece, and unless you wanted to capture the nut there, weld the nut to it, you know, you kind of need to be able to take that off. So, and this piece, you know, it just twists and pulls right off when it ain't in, you know, when you're installing the pedal assembly and the booster and all that. So all in all, it actually came together a whole lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I figured this was going to be a nightmare of me cutting and welding and twisting and bending and all sorts of crazy stuff, but it actually that much came together pretty easy in comparison. There's the remains of most of the other components. Here's the factory brake pedal, but up underneath here I've got the cross member finished. Transmission is hanging. Hopefully you can see it, because I said the light's not quality, but I put a angle iron piece right here and then braced over to the piece that goes up and over the transmission. Done the same on the other side. I've done 2 pieces of angle iron down here with 3 bolts per side to hold it, and my isolator bushing thing for the darn transmission, I ended up using their stern tire and freaking bolts slide through it. It'll be a stiff as hell mount, but it still will isolate it some. I still ain't put the drive shaft up yet. Need to. But getting closer.